So, all right, guys. So let's have a quick look on the market. So today it's quite an interesting day because we have this trade deal with China signature day, let's call it, which U.S. and China will sign the let's say the first phase one, that as they call it, today. So they will release the text today, the full text today, regarding the trade deal. So it's going to be very interesting to see what the information there is. Okay, they already gave some information, um, such as the 15% duties. They will take that away, and others. But in 86 pages, I expect more information about it, how they're gonna call it. But keep in mind is that this is the phase one, so it's only the first step. Getting closer to that bigger phase. So, there should be about phase two and three. Um, then finally, have everything in place. But let's see what happens. So today is the release day. I will try to find out what time
Yeah,
that
didn't
will
find it either.
come, because on the calendar here it doesn't give
Oh.
any time from what. Oh yeah, it doesn't give any time. So I mean, so it's just there. So that probably shows that there is not a specific time that it can come out. But I will try to find out, and I will alert you guys in the chat room anyway, so just keep that in mind. Looking by the calendar, by the way, so today was not a huge day, so let me take a few things off here. But as you can see, today we had we had some German data which was positive, surprisingly positive. But then we had the UK data, which came badly, came negative. So you can we could see here the inflation year over year came in at 1.3, expected was 1.5, so that was negative. The inflation rate over month was 0%, expected was 0.2, and the core inflation, which is the most important one, was 1.6 expected, and it came out 1.4. So that's why, if I go here to the cable here and go to maybe a 5 minutes, that's why we saw this huge candle down here from 30.15 all the way to maybe 29.85. About what, 25 pips drop? Yeah, about 25 pips drop here, and here we are. So, but as we saw before, the cable here technically is in a very interesting support area. Um, by the way, so it's going to be very interesting to see if this triangle is going to hold. If like I said yesterday, I'm I'm looking this very closely, because if this starts to break down, I want to get in. Huh? And one of the best, one of the big reasons for it is one of the one I posted in the channel a few days ago. Let me take the speculator. So I'm gonna leave only the money managers here. And as you can see, look where the cable is right now regarding positioning. Yeah, they are 2%, which is pretty much where they were here. Okay, in April 2014. Okay, and even lower than what we were in April 2018. Uh, so what does that mean? Means that they are very heavy short the cable right now, and I don't know if you like this or not, but it's a very important information. Okay, are they correct 100% of the time? Not really, but they are most of the time. Okay, and it's an information that you have to digest going forward. Yeah. going forward. For example, here, by the way, if you look at here, when they were close to very massive, very aggressive selling, you can see the cable still went a little bit higher and then drop. So that might happen, but regarding the news that coming out, what happened when the UK really leaves the EU, which still didn't happen yet. What can happen? And there are some good reasons to believe that this can actually drop all over again. So that's something to keep in mind. But that triangle, we should trade both sides if it breaks. So this one I'm keeping in mind. So if I see this breaking the 2960, I will start, to get very happy, sell here with a target around the 28, 27.90 or so, something like that. Yeah, that's what I expect. Do you guys see anything different here? Anything to add?
No. But on a technical view, the bottom trend line is a good buy. And if you see the cut data, so they're inflicting.
Yes. Yeah, the risk reward side is to buy here and sell at the top,
Yeah.
right? But what happens if it breaks this? You're just gonna, just see it? No, you have to try to make some money here on this drop, which can easily happen. So, because keep in mind as well, the market, retail traders, let me go back there. And let me take the money now and let's put the speculators. So the retail side now, and it's quite the opposite.
Everyone's buying.
They are strong, they are heavily buying this crap, which means that if I even go to 1 year here, you can see it's as the market starts to go up, they start to buy, but there is such a, there are some kind of delay. So you can see here there were strong selling at the bottom, and now they are strong buying at the top. So what does that mean? It means that they are retail traders are trying to buy this because of this aggressive move up, right? Aggressive move up, and now we are stuck here, and they just want to get in. So, what if stop break support here?
All the stops get hit and can go fast.
Yeah, it can easily go really fast. But looking short term, long term, I still believe that while we are remain the 28 around this area, which, while we are remain above here, I think, there is still technically looks good to be long. But if this drops below here, then, last chance is going to be the 125. And then below 25, I think this can easily go to 120. I really do. So keep that in mind. So if this drops here, I think it's going to go here and then can pop. So I want to get this move here, if it comes. So that's one of the things I'm looking at today, tomorrow. See what
Perfect thing
happens.
to short is where your arrow is.
Yes, that's where I wanted to sell or buy if it close above the trend line, but it's not coming. Yeah, and we can see that on the longer short term, sorry, we are making some higher highs, right? So this can come and does that, so that's what I expect here for the cable here going
So
forward.
we have two scenarios.
Yeah, so inflation came out, badly affected the cable, and here we are. So for rest for the day, we don't have too much going on, only this US. This is going to be the key for today. So if you trade the dollar today, you need to be aware of that. It can move around, okay? Be very careful. And then we have oil data, and that's pretty much it, okay? Regarding tomorrow we have some US data. but not many. But there he is, the retail sales figures. So tomorrow is something to watch. But today is the trade day pretty much. So that's something to watch. So let's start looking the market one by one, and the nothing really changed from what we saw on Monday. I think the dollar is still stuck pretty much. Still looks like a kind of a flag, or you can also call it as a triangle, if you want to call it this, whatever, channel triangle. Pretty much both of them still looking a little bit bullish than bearish. Still locked here, so something to keep in mind. Let's see what happens here. If I see this top trend line here gets broken, that's when I can start thinking of, okay, it's ready to go. Okay, so it still look bullish, the dollar. So keep that in mind. I still feel that this still a little bit bullish than bearish. Okay, but if this starts to break the triangle to the downside, then I'm gonna watch this 97 area, 97.10. I think that's a huge support here, which we can try to buy from there and see if this can happen, or if this triangle breaks. I expect something like this to happen. Okay, keep in mind 97 and 80 is the resistance here, okay, which is the previous high. So that's what I expect here from the dollar index. Anyone wants to add anything?
Nah.
Daily ATR as well is around that, close to this zone here as well. So that's why I think it's important, really important zone. ATR there, important resistance, R3, a lot of things happening. Yeah, so that's something I'm watching today for the dollar index. So keeping that in mind, let's go to the euro. So the euro is still the same thing. I think that it's holding here, maybe a triangle like this. I think Guilherme sent me something like this, which looks something like that, which has 1, 2 here, and the third rejection, but it's about to break right now. So I'm not sure about this top line. Yeah, it's a little bit messy chart, I have to say. But as you can see, the market is holding here the 38.2. Yeah. So will today break this and finally go to that 1180 or 112 as we discussed on Monday? Can be likely. Okay, but keep in mind what the dollar index shows. So I will keep in mind on the dollar index, because if the dollar index starts to break the triangle, I will straight away come here and sell this crap. Okay, so that's what I mean. RSI around the 52, as you can see, the reaction here on the RSI tells you what it thinks. So if it holds 50 and this comes here and then has a big rejection again, I think it's gonna confirm that the correction period inside here, it's getting over and it's ready to go. Okay, so keep that in mind. I will keep in mind this pink line here from the bottom. I think this is the most important one. If this gets broken, I think that's the trigger to maybe add more. Okay, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can even say here 5. Yeah, so 5 lows here in the trend line again. So if this gets broken, I expect something like that to happen. All right. Yep. So keep that in mind. So I'll keep in mind this 38.2. So the high, sorry, from from Monday. If that gets taken out, then I'll be watching the 1180. Okay, next. ATR is around the R2, so keep that in mind. So above the ATR, I think it's going to be very interesting to see what the reaction is going to be. Cable, I think we already spoke about, so nothing there to add. Dollar Swiss, so this is the one I think we should add as well. This is the one that, like I want to sell the euro, but this is the one that gives me the little bit of a headache, because we broke below this trend line here on the weekly, and for me this is huge still. Let me try something here. Let me try to add this here. Yeah, as you can see, um, even like this, it broke, and here we are. So it's quite strongly, it's very heavy. Let me add a fib here. So I think it really wants to reach this 96 area, close to the 618. I think that's the next support here. But if this drops, we'll probably, if it starts to break this low here, the last low here, I think that is a sign that it really wants to go to that, like I said, 96 area. So, and if that happens, then the euro, you expect the euro to go a little bit higher. So I think that 1180 is going to be very likely if that happens. So try to use both, yeah, at the same time while you're trading the euro dollar here, um, to help you in your timing. Okay. Anything to add here?
Still ranging, yeah. This pair.
Yes, but it's in the bottom of the range. Yeah, but it's still very, very heavily short, isn't it? You can see here how sloppy this was to the upside, and then when it's to sell, it's big candles, big red candles here. So that shows who is in control.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but I will only change my mind this from being bearish to bullish if we close above this yellow line here, zone here. If that happens, then I'm looking, around here next. But still, a lot to happen here for that to really change my mind. So it's still bearish here in my view. So nothing there to do. Dollar yen. So this is the one I think is gonna probably move quite a lot today. Keep in mind, it's quite funny to see, but look where the high was today, on Monday. My alert was at
Mm-hmm.
110.22. This thing came
Same.
21. So one bloody pip, it didn't reach my alert. But still, even if it hit my alert, I don't know if I would short straight away like that. I'm still okay. It's still looking bullish, to be honest. I think, this support we discussed on Monday, okay, 109.72, that is key, okay? If we see a 4-hour close below that level with a good size candle down, I think that's gonna show and confirm maybe we have a full breakout in hand. But as you can see, it's very, very sloppy here. So still bullish, and it can easily it can easily he's can easily being creating something like this for the next push higher. So you never know what can happen here. Right now, the risk reward is to be a buyer, because if you buy now, you can put your stop loss just where the S2 is, or just above, and the target around 110.30, which is where the trend line on the weekly is. Um, Guy, can you mute?
Oh,
Um,
sorry.
and
Sorry.
then something else. Yeah, as you can see, it's the same trend line I have anyway. So that's what I mean. It's still above this resistance zone here, as you can see. So it can easily be, can still push higher. So today is a big day for this to happen. See what can happen here on this dollar yen. Anything here you guys want to add? I don't. Yes, no?
Depends on the the pages. Huh? This pair
Yeah,
gonna move.
yeah. One thing is interesting here is that the weekly trend line is 130. The fib extension is at 110.30. So what if the market comes here, does that push, make a new high, comes here, has a big selling, and then does that? How amazing that would be, just to stop some people out, which already short, put their stopping loss
Can be.
here. or just here. It can easily reach 110.50, 110.40, and then what I want to see is a big red candle come just below this high here, because then that for me is going to be a FB happening there, first
It's like
breakout.
buy the rumor, sell the facts.
Yeah. So what if that happens, So I want to see what happens, especially if we start making new highs. If it starts making new highs, that's when things can start being very interesting for me. But I will, of course, alert you guys as this happens. But what I would love to do is to see the market making new high today, get to that 110.40, 110.50, because what I can feel is that a lot of people is thinking as the same as me, 110.30, let's sell there, but the market can easily move 20 pips above that and then crash. So that's what I think it can easily happen. So 110.50 for me, the closest to the 110.50 50 for me, it's the better it is, because then my risk can be very, very small. Dollar Canadian. It's one that I'm hoping this goes a bit higher, because this one I want to sell. But keep in mind what we saw on the dollar index. Yeah, look, the dollar is actually now crushing. Whoa, look at this.
Whoa.
Did something came out? Hmm. Did something come out?
I don't know.
Let me have a quick look.
Have a look. Somebody's reading the pages already.
Mm-mm-mm. No, I don't see anything. Nothing on Twitter. Uh, let's see on the chat room here on the news.
No news.
No, nothing there. So maybe
Prediction.
just just reactions here, just people closing trades. Maybe let's see what happens. What is happening somewhere else? So euro spiking up as expected. What about the New Zealand? New Zealand is very quiet. The commodity pairs for me, it's very surprising. We're going to speak about it just in a few time. Look at that, interesting, huh? What about dollar yen? What's dollar yen doing? Dollar yen's not moving up with the dollar strength, which is normal. Yeah, it doesn't really do what the dollar wants. It do more what equities do, which is muted. Um, but the dollar here, very surprising. Dollar Swiss actually making new lows on the day. Dollar Canadian quite strong. It's about, looks like a euro thing, because the rest is not moving as much. As you can see, the cable is still okay. Yeah. Anyway, interesting. These things happen, so it's good to see. It's not always about news. It's about people closing trades, and that moves the market quite a lot as well. So maybe a bank close doing some euro trades there, so that can move the market easily because of the size of the positioning. But going back to where we were, which we were on the dollar Canadian, I think we were right. Yeah. So the dollar Canadian here, I like, from what on the weekly chart, we broke this trend line here. So for me, the closest we get to the trend line, the better it is because of the risk. Daily here, can, it gives the idea of a possible falling wedge, which Guilherme shared with us. Yeah, it can be, but I think it's worth taking a shot, close to this trend line on the weekly first, because I think that's, because on the weekly it's most important. So my plan is to see if this can go again to this 131, and this is a great place to sell, like we drew on Monday. Yeah. So if this gets to there, especially if we make a new high here, I can, I would love to see this make a new high and then just, drop, make a new high, then I sell, pre stop loss, maybe here, risk this to make this. This is like a 6-7 to 1 trade. Um, if this happens, maybe a trend line here, short-term trend line you can add there. Uh, let's see if this is a trend line. Maybe, yeah, it does look okay, right? So I don't know if this trend line breaks, then that can be a trigger, maybe. So that is what I'm thinking here. So I'm hoping it goes up a bit more, so it can starts to be very good for me. Anything to add here on dollar Canadian, you guys?
Yeah. We're waiting for that level. Same
Mm-hmm.
thing.
Yeah.
I have an alert there, so let's see what happens.
Yeah, let's see. Aussie. Uh, so the Aussie still very, very choppy here. Not sure what to do. Um, like we said on Monday, I'm not sure what can happen. Really point out possible head and shoulders building up. Can be. It can be. Um, it can be. So it's something that we can watch. Not my favorite formation, but we can try and see what happens. But here right now, this what is had doing here? It's really difficult to think of what can happen next. Right? It's very, very locked, very, very choppy there. So not sure what to do here, in my view. Same for the Kiwi, actually. Same for the Kiwi here. No, nothing here. That can it shows me what can happen. The only thing that can happen is if it start bouncing, then we can add a fib here. See if we can get once again to that 66.50 area. Maybe sell there or wait for the 67, which is the 618, and then try to sell there, maybe. But that's something to keep in mind. But not sure what to do here for this session or tomorrow. Let's have a quick look on gold. So gold, very interesting here actually. We broke yesterday. It was yesterday, yeah. Yesterday here on the 4 hour here, we broke these two lows here. As you can see, the big 2 wicks. Close below, made a morning star, a doji candlestick, bullish confirmation. Boom, starts to pick up again. Not like I said, I think it's gonna slow down here. I don't think it's gonna um, go again back to here again. I think it's the best time to trade this. It's now over, so I think it's gonna relax here for quite some time now. I think that's what I expect here. So, um, but there's still looking quite bullish in my view, because even if you put the fib here to here, you can see that we are there, kissing the 38 fib. So that's something to note. So that's what I think. Silver, same thing, right?
Same thing, yeah.
Not sure what to do here, but very choppy. Let's have a quick look on the equities now, because equities, when was it? Monday made a new high. Yesterday tried to make a new high, but it couldn't. But still, very, very. It's it does look like a triangle here, isn't it? It does look like it's trying to it wants to do something like that. but still looking bullish here. Um, I'm looking the 33. I'm looking at the 33,000 mark, 3,300 mark, or just above. See what happens there. But still looking very bullish. The S&P looks bullish. Let's have a quick look at Nasdaq. Very bullish. Let's have a look the DAX. I'm quite surprised the DAX still didn't bounce because we had some good German data today. So if I was long this and saw the data coming out positive and this didn't bounce, I was like, okay, what the hell is going on? But this can also be a flag, by the way. So of course I don't expect this to go to the flag target because it's so big. It's going to be somewhere, close to here. But it does look, a little bit bullish still for the DAX. In my view, it's at the highs pretty much. Didn't make a new highs yet, but that's something to keep in mind.
Stocks.
So keep that in mind. The UK FTSE, let's see how the FTSE is still locked there. Nothing really here. Let's have a quick look on VIX. So the VIX is something that we discussed on Monday because it's not following what stocks is doing, and still okay there. You can see the gap higher now, and now it's moving lower, but still above that 12 level. It doesn't really move, doesn't really staying below the 12. So that's something very surprising, in my view. The VIX. Anything else? Anything else? Some stocks? Any
No.
stocks, you guys? So Tesla yesterday, another very bullish day, reaching it touched the 547 mark. What a huge move. Um, yeah, so it's now above the one, the 1.618 fib extension. So that is, it's getting close to some overbought levels, but I'm not too sure what can happen next because I don't see any level, any technical thing above where we are. So I'm not sure what can happen. Apple, same thing. Yesterday we made a new high. We reached the 317. Same thing. Nothing here above where we are. Google, by the way, let's have quick. Google, I think, by the way, has a level coming up close to where we are. Yeah, it's close. It's close. It's something to watch. And this thing is divergent. As you can see, it's still above these highs on the RSI, but below the highs on the RSI, but a lot higher on the price action. So I think around here is a good place for this to make a short-term top at least. DB, it's something I'm watching. Very possible of this being a channel here. Okay, it's not flag, it's a channel because it's not so straight. Like it has this kind of corrections here in the middle. I really don't like that in a flag, but it's still there. Look, it's fighting the resistance right now. I think this can be a huge surprise this year. Believe or not, I do think that. What about Bitcoin? So Bitcoin, another push outside of the triangle, broke the triangle and then just turns the turbo on, and here we are. So it is around nearly the 9,000 mark. I think this market is not bullish for the rest of the year, to be honest. But the question here is, where should I get long, you know, and I'm hoping that we get close to this 8,200. I think it's a great place to buy if that comes to there, but I'm not too sure where it is. Finally, now we're above the you know the trend line here on the daily, which is the one I have been mentoring. But you know, this is just pushing high. It's not giving any chance to step in. So, but you know, if that happens, be ready. I think it can be a good thing here. The and one to keep in mind, guys, is the stock market from China, the Shanghai's. I think we saw this chart together on Monday. Uh, this massive trend line here, we're just there, guys. So as you can see, we push higher, and now look where we are. So I'm not gonna do anything this week because this is a weekly chart. So I want to see where we close the week today. We can easily close with a shooting star. We can easily close with a hanging man. I don't know, but it's something to watch. This can be the first one that can drag the rest together. Okay, keep that in mind. Maybe you can also add a trend line here just to help you with your trigger. As you can see, is this a channel? Close, but no, but you know, this trend line can be the trigger. A close below the tier and a close on the weekly below the trend line can be something. So keep that in mind. Oil. So oil had a quick and a hard selling going on. So here we are, this trend line here um, on oil, but you know this here is it's a huge false breakout. You know that is something to note for me above this last high. So we are the trend line here, and the buyers will try to protect this trend line here. I believe. I think this is the last chance. If this trend line starts to really break down or close below the 200 moving average, I think it's going to start putting some pressure on oil and see where we are. But this is a good place for oil to recover. Okay, so that's what I'm keeping in mind. And I think that's all, guys. I don't see anything else that I can add.
Yeah, you're in New Zealand. Yeah.
So here in New Zealand, let's have a quick look. So this is the one we are trying. I'm still short, by the way. Um, it's going up, but very, very slow as you know, as we think. So we are at the 618 now, which is a good place to make a top. But we did went above the trend line now, so this can be. Of course, it's not the best trend line because we only have two highs. I was looking this trend line more as like this. I still broke as well. So it does look like he wants to go here. So it's getting close to my risk, to my stop loss. But you know, if the guy stepped out, if my stop loss get stopped out, then I will wait until we get around the 69.50. So we're talking here about 100 pips higher than where we are now, and then try short again there. Okay, so I'm not gonna increase my stop loss because then I will have more than 100 pips stop loss in place. So if I get stopped out, I get stopped out, and then I will try to see if I can once again around the 69.50 area there. If this doesn't work, okay. So if I get stopped out, then I will only sell if we get here, and then try to do what we can there. But we are fighting the 618 right now, so it's a good place here to go. If we drop to the 60, if we drop to the 60-minute, maybe we can, you know, maybe something like this is in play, right? A rising wedge,
Okay.
there. So it's something to keep in mind. But the first thing I want to see is this lows here gets taken out. Okay, I want to see this market change the dynamic, which is not making new lows and not making new highs, because we are making new highs and not new lows. So what I want to see him do is come here and then start doing something like this, and then okay, and then making new lows but not making new highs. That's what I want to see this, so I can confirm. So then I will start adding my position. Okay, so I'm small right now, slightly negative.
Why is it cut data from New Zealand?
Huh?
The cut data from New Zealand.
No, I don't think it's interesting, because if it was, I probably had.
Middle.
Yeah, so it's dropping. It's dropping. They are increasing their shorts, but still in the middle. Yeah. They are closing their longs. Well, starting to, if I can say that. So anyway, so this is the ones to keep in mind. What about Euro Oz? It must be very similar. Yeah, nothing really here that I can see. Dollar. Any other pair you guys wants to see before I go?
Aussie New Zealand. I went short there. So.
Yeah, you had this channel here drawn,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah, I'm not sure if this is a channel. Like I said, this for me here, it's not great. I don't really like that. It's still,
Yeah, that formation, yeah.
but I like the reaction so far, which is good. So let's have a quick look here. Yeah, a lot of people are trying to buy this now because of a possible hammer, right? But the hammer is not confirmed. So that's the thing here. A lot of people are trying to buy because they think it's a hammer, but we don't have a confirmation. So this candle of this week can easily close red, cancel the hammer, and then continue moving lower. So that can easily happen too. I think we broke already a trend line here on the 1 hour. Yeah. Yeah, I think what a short person wants to see now, it's I think a move below this 0390. If this happens, then I think it's going to be a much better confirmed top, I think. So only a move, I think, below 0390. I think then the market will confirm, that wants to go back to the lows again. But yeah, really good. I really like this top here on yesterday actually. New high at daily ATR high, just above the daily ATR. Really, it's really good. It's really good. Really, really good. I really like this. As you can see here, this has the history of doing this, right? Every time he makes a top, it's pretty much just above the daily ATR. This was, here was, here was. So,
Yeah,
here same. Here same. So that's why I like the daily ATR. You can get those extremes in play, right? Yeah, I like that. So what currency? So the euro made a new high. Interesting. So the euro made a new high just above the high yesterday. So that's very interesting. If the ATR was here and he was just above the daily ATR, I would probably sell now. But because the daily ATR is just what 15 pips higher than where we are, then I'm not gonna try that. That's something to keep in mind. Nothing. Oh, the pound recovered. Yeah, the pound bounced a little
Yeah,
bit.
because of the dollar, probably.
What about the dollar yen? Dollar yen went lower actually. Dollar card went a little bit lower, but nothing much. Swissy made a new low. Oh, the Swiss is back to the lows again. Yeah. There you are. There we are, fighting the lows now. Yeah, so keep in mind, I think this will make a new low. It's gonna drop. But keep in mind that the 618 is not far. The daily ATR as well is at what? 96.32. Interesting. Mm. It's gonna be very interesting if this gets below the daily ATR. Doesn't mean I will buy straight away, but I want to see how far he can go. Imagine if he can go to very quickly to 96. If it goes to 96 very quickly, then I think he can buy there for a correction coming soon. Okay, let's see if we can finally get to that 1180 to 112 on the euro. Yeah, some good moves. I like that. Yeah, I think that's all, guys. All I have for now. Good moves on the market, but keep in mind the date that we have today, which is the US-China Phase 1 trade deal signature. See what the information is going to come out. See how the market will digest that. It's going to be very interesting to see what stocks will do, because the stocks, one of the reasons stocks has been bouncing is because of speculation regarding this trade deal. So let's see if those trade deals really is what the market expected. If it's not, I think we can see a huge selling off on stocks.
Probably.
Because it's going to be very disappointing, if that happens. If the trade deal is good, if it's what the market expected, I don't think nothing is going to move. It's going to be the same, especially stocks, because that has been priced in, I believe.
How much did I want to win? 200 billion or buying of or additional 200 billion in American goods and services.
Yeah, for the next 2 years. So let's see what happens. Very, very interesting day. Yeah, and let's see what the dollar makes, because the dollar now is below the triangle. We're gonna close the 4-hour candle in 30 minutes. So what I will do now is expect now for this to reach the 97.10, 97.05. That means the euro to reach that 11.80, probably. Yeah, keep in mind that daily ATR is 11.65. So if we do get the 11.80, we are quite well above the daily ATR already. So that's something to note. Cable, maybe. What if we get above on top of this trend line, or even better, gets above the trend line, reach the daily ATR and come quickly like that, leaving a massive fake out there. That's something I'm watching today. Yeah. Yeah, guys, I think that's all for today. Thanks so much for being here. I will update you guys in the chat room if anything changes or if I do anything from my side here. All right. All right. Take care, guys. Talk
Yeah.
to you guys in chat
See
room.
you. See you later.